All right, what's going on, you lovely, sexy motherfuckers? This is your host, AZ, bringing you another video, another Valorant breakdown. I wouldn't even say breakdown, kind of an overview from the weekend. I'm still working on these Haven, Split, and Bind, and Ascend videos to get these out for you and make sure that I get these out to you by the end of the week, or if anything, by the end of the next tournament. So probably a week, we'll try and get about 5-6 videos, maybe if I'm good at it, if I stay on my stuff, get these videos out. We have plenty of content to go over, plenty of content to talk about. So let's get on into it. Let's talk about Challengers number 2, and let's talk about what happened with it. Again, we have the grand finals, or not the grand finals, excuse me. We have the main event where the top 8 teams from this weekend will be playing in it this weekend. So there'll be more to talk about, more to go over, and the winner from that will compete for Masters to get into Masters at another time. So a whole bunch of stuff to go over, a whole bunch of stuff to talk to. Let's get on into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. All right, so the first thing you're looking at is my Google tab, because I'm an absolute idiot. I forgot to take that off. All right, so let's go ahead and go over stage 2 and talk about stage 2. Hopefully I get my mic straight right here and go over things. Of course, man, we're gonna have to talk about Sentinels getting upset by Built by Gamers. I highly recommend you guys going out and checking out this video by Valorant VODs. I watch all their VODs. They put up the VODs, and this is mostly what I do in my time, is just watch Valorant VODs and go over to my friends' houses and have fun and watch this while I'm there, because they get upset at me for watching Valorant VODs on Easter. I was watching this game, watching the VOD of this game, and watching the FaZe versus version 1. I've watched both of these games. This was very, very fun to watch, very enjoyable to watch. Both of these teams got upset, and it was great. Not great to see people get upset, but it was great to see amateur teams, or quote-unquote amateur teams, now they're pro teams, in my opinion, come in. I also want to talk about a lot about what is a pro team. For me, a pro team classifies as any top 32 team in the region. There's a lot of debate about that, a lot of talk about that, obviously, but again, we don't have leagues, we don't have anything like leagues in Valorant. Good, because I really don't like the CDL and stuff like that. I like how amateur teams can come and beat pro teams, and this is exactly why, right? When you have leagues, you don't have this chance for upset, you don't have this stuff, and then you have teams like Sentinels and Shazam. I still love you, Shazam, but coming out and saying the open bracket doesn't matter, they shouldn't have to play through an open bracket. While I agree they should have some type of advantage, maybe moving on to round 3 or something like that, it ruins the engagement for the supporters and for the fans to be able to look at the games and be able to basically be into it, right? If Shazam and Sentinels wasn't playing and BBG was playing, I might not have watched this game, to be honest with you, but I ended up watching it because obviously Sentinels coming up, and I know who Poach is. Poach is a really good player. Again, if you guys want to check out these games, there's a lot of 1v4s, a lot of 2v4s by BBG. We'll be breaking that down later this week. I highly recommend you checking that out. Now, let's go on and move on and talk about the final team. So we have Built by Gamers and Xset moving on. Xset beat NRG pretty handedly. I kind of underestimated Xset. Not gonna lie to you, my predictions were all over the place this weekend. However, that's what happens. We still have a lot of time for Masters, so don't throw me under the bridge yet. We'll see. I was highly disappointed by T1. If I go over and find T1, there's a lot of games for me to find, if I can find them. But I was highly disappointed in T1. They didn't play very well at all. Can I find it? AZ, can you find it, man? Can you go down here and find it? I think pretty sure they're like all the way down here. Yep. Here we go. T1 lost to Rice and Meatballs. I don't know how that happened. Honestly, man, I don't know, man. I can't even sit here and say anything or give you any breakdowns or any analysis. Rice and Meatballs was just a better team, and it was like that literally from start to finish. T1 has a lot of figuring out to do, and that's all I can say about that. I don't plan to make a video on T1 because they disappointed me a lot, but if you guys want me to make that video, leave a comment down below. I might think about it. 100 Thieves moves on after playing Rice and Meatballs. They thoroughly handed everybody they played with, didn't drop a map, didn't even look like they struggled at all, not even against Time In. They didn't stream this game, and I really wanted to see this. I mean, they absolutely fumbled the bag not streaming 100 Thieves and Time In, but it wasn't a good game, so probably it was a good stream or a good video that they put up, so whatever. We'll talk about that at a later time. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, that Time In is Ninja's team, so that's why I wanted to watch it, because it was Ninja's team, see how they were doing, and obviously they didn't do that well, but there's time for Ninja and their team to bounce back. You know, there'll be another qualifier for them to get in. Cloud9 Blue was another shocking team. They played Gen G, and if you guys didn't watch my last preview predictions, watch some of my other videos, I was very high on Gen G. I wanted Gen G to come out and show the world how good they were, because I felt like they were being underrated this whole time. I felt like they were one of the best teams in the world, and I bought the bullet. Bit the bullet, excuse me, on a lot of things. And Cloud9 Blue came out and beat Gen G in the last match of Sunday, and it was just like, I was just shaking my head like, you know what? I was telling my friend, I was like, man, my predictions were not right at all, but I did predict how maps should be played. We talked about Icebox in one of my other videos. Again, check that out. All that will be linked in the description below. I talked about how to play Icebox, and every team who played Icebox the way that I said, with the occasional 100 Thieves, because 100 Thieves plays a little different, and we covered that when they played TSM. They were able to thoroughly win Icebox, and I was pretty happy about that. You know what I mean? Immortals beat TSM. I'm a little concerned about TSM. It's like they are really good, but it seems like when they play bigger teams, they just fold. Like they just don't live up to exactly what they can be. I'm not here knocking TSM. I wouldn't even say a roster break needs to happen. With the acquisition of Brax, I think that's very good for them. However, they need to figure out some things because, again, Immortals is a really good team. I don't want to sit here and discount them and say that this loss is bad, but not even picking up a map on Immortals or pushing this to map 3, that's very concerning. That really is concerning, and it makes it seem like TSM really don't want to play because they have the talent and the roster to be able to get to that next level and at least compete with these teams, but seeing them not compete against Immortals, that was a little depressing. Version 1 against FaZe Clan, this was a great series, man. I mean, an absolute great series. It just sucks that Valorant matches go on forever and I have to sit there and watch them, even though I enjoy it, man. It's like, man, God, just shorten it just a little bit, Valorant, please, just a little bit, man. But when you get a good game, you get a fun game like version 1 of FaZe Clan had. They went to overtime, I think on map 2, if I'm not mistaken, or map 3, and that was a great game to watch. We'll be breaking that game down. Don't worry. Don't even get upset at it. Don't even get concerned about it. That's a great game. FaZe Clan deserve a round of applause. Version 1 deserve a round of applause. Both of those teams duke it out, and I just want to say FaZe Clan, come back, bounce back. But I did tell you guys that FaZe Clans were going to have issues because they weren't going to be able to figure out these pushes and people being aggressive on them, and that's what version 1 did. But again, I'll save that for the video and we'll talk about it later. So we have version 1 playing Immortals for the top 8 or top 4. After this, then we have Anbox, right? Anbox and Noble are the sleepers. I mean, Anbox and Noble, Anbox played Knights, which was another, upset, but they had pretty, I wouldn't say easy, because nothing in this tournament is easy. It's going to come easy, and Sentinels proved that when you look like that or you talk like that, that's not going to happen. But they had the easier, kind of draw on the bracket. They didn't have to play none of the teams that made it to Masters or got close to Masters. But Anbox ended up playing Knights, played very fucking well, and ended up beating them. That was also, a really good game. Noble ended up playing Luminosity, which that was an upset. I did not see Noble beating Luminosity, but it goes to show, man, when you're in this open bracket and you're playing Valorant, people been watching film on you, upsets will happen. And then Anbox went on to beat Noble, which was a really, really good game as well. I really like watching that. I mean, anytime in Valorant you get a 1-1 and it goes to map 3, you can almost expect a classic, right? I mean, I'm just loving the esports concerning Valorant right now. It's really nice. I'm really loving these matches. But again, Luminosity getting upset is another match I want to talk about this week on another map that we'll go over. This was very concerning for Luminosity. Didn't play up to expectations at all. Very disappointing. And my team, we came out, man. We came out heavy hitting. Didn't drop a map till we got to Ghost Gaming, which was, again, a really good map, but I didn't get to watch this. I didn't get to see this, sadly. I haven't paid attention to it yet. I'm going to go back and watch the VOD for you guys, so I don't want to give you any false narratives or anything surrounding that. Haven't seen it yet. But I watched everything else, and Envy looked as great as they ever have, and I'm really confident in my team, man. I really hope Envy, I'm praying, man, Envy gets to the next level because they're a really good team, man. I love seeing them. I love those boys over at Envy, and you guys know me rocking with Envy. I love to see it. But Ghost put up a great fight. Great job, Ghost, man. Can't wait to see you guys next week, and hopefully you don't have to play Envy or anybody like that again. You guys can probably get into Masters, but Ghost really deserves some credit. So we have Team Envy and Anbox coming right here, and then we have Built by Gamers and Xset, as we talked about earlier. So I want to show you guys the matches. This is going to be Thursday. This Thursday coming up, we're going to have Anbox and 100 Thieves. Again, remember, this is a double elimination now, so when you lose, you're not automatically out. However, the top 4 of these move on to play for Masters, and then the top 4 of Challengers 2 is going to go on and play, and they're going to play a tournament to decide which top 2 teams get in to Masters, and that's just going to be a whole nother massive playing in and of itself. So again, we have Anbox playing 100 Thieves, Immortals playing Cloud9 Blue, Built by Gamers playing Xset, version 1 playing Envy, and then we'll get some more games rocking. It's going to be a ton of games being played Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the grand finals on Sunday to see who is going to win and Challengers NA. Now, again, we have other stuff from other regions. We'll be talking about those in other videos. Ascend, again, looked fucking phenomenal. We got Guild, again, playing in this. Team Heretics and Team Vitality playing great as well, but I don't have time to go over that in this video. I'll try and split these up by regions. The longer and the more we go on, and we'll go by that. But right now, we're just going to stick to NA so I can just keep my mind, a little bit insane. Wow, sane. And we'll talk about it later. So again, check out these VODs, man. I really recommend you guys checking this out. My predictions were absolutely just out of the roof. I absolutely botched Sentinels, and I absolutely botched T1, but I did get FaZe right. I predicted FaZe, but they played a lot better than I thought they would. Honestly, I think FaZe is capable of playing a slower play style. I wouldn't recommend them to play that because you play how you want and how the team works. However, version 1, they really exposed some things that we'll talk about in the video. So please go check this video out with FaZe. Please check this out with Sentinels and BBG. A lot of people were saying that Sentinels threw to get a contract or get a lower buyout for tens. I just want to say something. If players do this, if pro players do this, I'm not saying they did or they didn't. I have no information on it. I just don't want to accuse them of ever doing that. Pro players, to be a great player in basketball and football and soccer and League of Legends and Call of Duty, to be a great player means that you expect greatness and you strive for greatness at every moment. When you slip off of that pedal and you take your foot off the gas pedal, you lose. And this is what happened if that was the case. However, I wouldn't say they did it. I just feel like they came out flat. Tens botched some of his Blade Storms, his Jet Ults on the second map. One of the announcers called that out. He wasn't making use of that. They weren't playing as a team. BBG played flawlessly. I mean, the 1v4s and the 2v4s were absolutely phenomenal. And it just seemed like Shazam and those boys at Sentinels, they just expected that they didn't have to be there, that they didn't have to prove anything. And that's the problem. That's not how these tournaments work. That's not how they should work. And I don't agree with that mentality. But again, I just think they came out flat, and I hope they bounce back. And I think they can bounce back coming up on Challengers number 2. As far as Gen G and Cloud9 goes, these were great back and forth matches. These two matches, excuse me. But on Icebox, again, I kept saying this. If you don't cut off B and you have to play retake on B, which is the last round that Gen G lost in overtime, you're going to have issues. And again, we've seen that happen. And it's annoying. It's really annoying to see that, man. It's very frustrating because Icebox should be a basic map to understand and learn. But again, it's easier said than done. These are pro players. It just triggers me when I see that stuff, man. Really, really does. Really, really does. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think, hey, Z, just shut the hell up? You don't know what you're talking about, man. You ain't got no clue about what you're talking about. But again, I'm out here trying to help you guys, trying to make sure that you guys understand what's going on, that you're staying up to date with these Valorant esports and all that stuff. I'm going to make some more Valorant VODs, excuse me. I'm going to do some Valorant VOD reviews for you guys, teach you guys how to do Valorant VOD reviews, what to look for, how to improve off of that, as well as do some other esports. I'm looking into Rocket League right now and doing some COD Mobile stuff as well when COD Mobile start picking up some games that I like, so you guys can see what's going on and how I'm looking at them. But again, leave a comment down below if you want to see more esports, if you want to see more VODs, more reviews, more breakdowns, and we'll talk about it as the week goes on. Thank you for tuning in to the video, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, the smoothest fingers in the gaming industry, AZ. Bless up, as always, God bless, and I'll see you for another Valorant video really soon.